Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's Cons Vlogs. We're back with another video today. You guys, I have passed over 7,200 miles in the MACH. And now if you guys remember this, I bought my MACH 1 with 1,600 miles on it. So that means I have put over 5,000 miles on it since February. It is now middle of July, end of July actually. So in about 6-7 months, I have put just over 5,000 miles on it. I'm gonna be going over some points today that I think are important to know when you're looking at a car, when considering a car to get. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'll even ask my dad, who is not a Ford guy, he hates Fords. I'm gonna ask for his input as well on some of the subjects too. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. But before we do, we're gonna be heading out to a meet tonight with some very, very dope people with some very, very dope cars. There's gonna be an SS there, guys. It's not mine. Mine might be there, but I'm not sure. Or my old one, I should say. But there is an SS there, and it is sick. We've got some CTS-Vs coming out. But yes, we're gonna be heading out to that, and then once we get back home, I will take you guys out in the MACH and go over my thoughts. I made a list of a couple of things that I think are important for you guys to know that I think you guys will be interested in talking about. So go ahead, smash the subscribe button, you guys. Helps me out a ton. The like button does as well. And of course, share it. Tell your friends. The more eyes, the more views, the better. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get on with it. I already drove the car this morning, so this is probably gonna be a warm start, but nonetheless. It's still so nice. It's still so nice. You know what it is though. Car pop. Great turnout already. We've got Pearly, we've got Nate in his V. We have a C6ZR1 with us as well. A chrysalis blue. I think it said it was 1 of 11 for the year. C6ZR1, which is sick. And then we're meeting up with another SS and another V. Nothing beats that! Nothing beats that! Oh my gosh! I love that car. I love the way that car sounds. We were cruising along at a really good pace. I mean, the speed limit. We're in bumper to bumper traffic now. This happens every time. Like every time I meet up with guys to cruise down to meets, this is what happens. Gotta love you. Because we live in Utah and it's either construction or somebody's pulled over on the side of the road, so therefore everybody just locks up the brakes. And we got out of it for a second and we're right back in it. I mean, we're right back in it like we never left. I love it here. I love here. Yeah, if you're not living in Utah, don't come here. It's not good. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I want to leave. You can't afford to live here, working a regular job. It's pretty bad. The chop on that 1LE is so good. It makes me remember mine. Mine also didn't chop like that, so. We got the gang in here now. We're all here now. Well, almost. We're missing Travis. There's Cam in the SS. We got Everett in the V. So, we picked up that V. And this sickness is, I think it's Heads Cam, or maybe just Cam. It's Cam and Exhaust.
Cam Rising.
His name is Cam, but his car is cammed as well. I think he said he made 460 wheel.
Yeah, about 500.
Well, you know how it is. So I'm literally the only person here without a GM vehicle. I am the only person without a GM vehicle. There's no Mopars and there's one Ford. Me. I'm also the slowest guy here. But I'm also the only stock car here as well. How do you not like this, man? How do you not like this stuff?
A little reverb off the wall. Don't mind if I do.
Not bad. Here. It took us a minute. We made it. We're an hour late, but we made it. There's still cars here.
Where's the Alfa Romeos?
What? Go home. Hellcat. I don't know what we got here. Where's Travis? Oh, the boys here in a leave the camera in the car while I go talk to some people, and then we will get back to this after the meet. I'm gonna go talk to some friends though. All right, we are leaving the spot now. I don't know what's going on. Everyone's revving, popping, not moving. Bunch of slow cars out here, me included. That right there is exactly why I cannot have my car straight pipe.
Yeah, that is straight pipe with a cherry bomb.
That's horrible. So we got Pearly, we got Tyler, and we got Everett, and somebody with an ATS-V pulling up. I don't know who. Oh. These ATS-Vs are so cool. It sounds like a V8 for some reason. I don't really know why. The little sneeze for the blow off. It's a twin turbo V6.
It's got a CCP fuel cam.
Oh, so it actually is cam. Not a bad little group here. 2 CTS-Vs, SS1LE, the MACH, and now we got 2 ATS-Vs, which are so sleeper.
Oh yeah.
That is a sleeper car for sure. Well. I don't even know who's ripping. I can't tell. In the middle lane. Oh my! What is that? Sick whip. All right, so everyone's heading home. We're out. Good night out with the boys. Thanks everybody for popping out. Let's get into the nitty gritty of this video now. I'm just gonna jump forward to tomorrow for the viewers. Oh yeah. Little POV action. I'll see if I can raise it up a little bit. I've got the old the preview on here so I can see what you guys are seeing. Let me know, do you guys want to see more POV drives like this? I mean, if this turns out well, is this something you guys would like to see a little bit more? I know I kind of enjoy doing it. I think when I watch YouTube videos like this, I tend to enjoy them quite a bit as well. If you're new to the channel, so my past experience with cars, if you guys are new here, I had a 2016 Chevy SS before this. That was the farthest thing from stock that I've ever owned. That car had a built motor, meth injection, cam heads, ported heads from LME, 2650 supercharger. It was done up. So I'm gonna probably compare this car a little bit to that, as well as I had a 2015 Camaro SS1LE that I just did headers and a tune on. Loved that car as well. So if I refer to either of those cars, or just kind of keep it in mind that, okay, so let's start this off here with the negatives. Be aware that this is me being a little bit picky here. None of these things that I'm mentioning are a huge deal. Maybe one of them is. It depends on how you feel. The interior, while it's not bad, and like it's great, it does everything I need it to do, there's nothing special about a Mach 1 interior versus a fully loaded GT. I would have liked to see maybe some upgraded materials, maybe some suede Alcantara somewhere, carbon fiber maybe even. I mean, I don't know about carbon because it's still kind of a budget Shelby, if you will. So I don't know about carbon. The only thing that's different between like a Performance Pack 2 GT and a Mach 1 is the badge over here on the dash that has the serialized number. Now, if we get into the second thing here, this one is one of the first things that I actually noticed about the car. And you guys, I'm sure I'm gonna get poked fun of for this one because you guys know how much I love and swear by this 10-speed transmission here. But like I'm doing right now in the car, just kind of cruising along at normal speeds in traffic, decelerating with the 10-speed, you can almost feel it every time it downshifts, and it sometimes when accelerating, it doesn't feel like it knows exactly what gear it wants to be in. And I have heard that, you know, if you get it tuned in pretty much all situations, I mean, I've seriously had people tell me that it makes the car a completely different car once you get the transmission tuned, which I have not done yet. This is completely stock. If you're wide open throttle, it shifts blisteringly fast. I mean, seriously, like I am still impressed by how fast it shifts and how smooth it shifts when you're in it or when you're wide open throttle. But when you're just cruising around town, you can feel it downshift every time, and you almost have to compensate for it with the brake pedal so you don't get thrown through the windshield, but also so that you stop the car when you need to, because as it downshifts, you can feel it start to kind of engine brake and slow itself down. I remember my SS did this too. That was an automatic 6L80E. That had a similar situation where it was just something that I kind of had to learn to deal with. And then along with that, with the 10-speed, we'll go into my third complaint, and that is that driving it in manual mode is super fun, but only when you're driving the car really aggressively. Because when you're just cruising normally, or say you want to tear up a canyon with your bros, whatever you want to do, you have to be changing gears constantly, it seems like, to try to be in the right gear. The caveat to that is obviously if you leave it in sport mode or track mode, it's almost always in the perfect gear. Like, it will hold the revs a while. Which is super, super nice, and I can't wait to road course or autocross this car too. I have done some straight line racing. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on the channel. I'll link the roll racing video down below. This car does extremely well in a straight line, which is honestly the main thing that I bought it for. I know it's a great handling car. I know it has the upgraded coolers in it. I know that's there. I like that that's there. That's part of the reason why I bought the car. But for just cruising around, the 10-speed can get a little bit annoying. And then the last thing that I have to say that is, again, a super nitpicky complaint, and I would never not buy a car for this reason. Nobody knows the difference between the Mach 1 and a Performance Pack GT. And again, I've made a separate video on this one as well. If you want to browse the channel, look it up. I'm not going to go into details about all the differences right now. But whenever I take this thing out to a car meet or whatever, I do have to explain myself quite often. What makes a Mach 1 different? I'm fine to do, but sometimes I don't always want to do it, and I kind of don't like the scrutiny that comes with, oh, well, you just bought an up-badged 5.0, you just bought an up-badged GT, or a GT with a performance catalog, and I'm just like, you're not paying for the car, so it doesn't really matter. Now we're gonna switch speeds a little bit, and let's get into the positives on the car. I mean, let's get into some of the things I love, because overall, I do actually love this car. There's not a lot of things that I would trade it for, and I don't think there's anything that's in the price range that I would trade it for. To start off, if you guys know my whole story with the SS and whatnot, you guys know that I had a lot of problems with that car, and I mean a lot. And so when I was looking for a replacement car, I needed something reliable. The Mustang, the S550 Gen 3 10R combo is so good. Everybody's raving about how reliable it is. It's really good, and it's a good platform for me to start on if I want to do my build, which I do plan on doing a build in the future once I get my bread up. But so far, like, I feel like this car drives better the harder that I drive it, and that is one thing that I do love about it. It's been absolutely flawless to own. The other thing, I love the 10-speed. I know I was ragging on it, saying around town it's kind of annoying, but I bought this car to drive it hard. And when I do that, the 10-speed feels absolutely amazing. It's always in the right gear when I'm driving it hard. If I'm wide open throttle, hard braking, wide open throttle, like I would be on a road course, or when I'm accelerating in a straight line, the 10-speed makes up for the lack of power that I feel in the car, which I love. I'm glad I got the 10-speed over a manual 90% of the time. And we'll get into a little bit this right here. The digital dash that comes in these cars is so cool. I mean, I don't know how well you can see it. I hope it picks it up well, but you've just got loads of options here. You can change all the colors on the dash, the ambient lighting color. You can change the exhaust mode, the drive mode. You can make your own drive mode. You can select through all of these gauges right here to be shown on the main screen. So right now I have obviously air fuel ratio, inlet air temps, and transmission temps. You can do so much with this digital display. Now that we're on a little bit of a better road, I'm actually going to put the car into my mode that I have set up. I don't know if you picked it up, it just got a little louder, and the transmission downshift a couple of times at least. I'm gonna quiet it down just a bit so the mic doesn't only pick up that. You guys still might hear a little rumble, so I'm gonna just put it back in normal mode. But I love this thing. I mean, I love this thing. So I had the normal tack on past this guy here. He's out for a nice little cruise, going a little bit under the speed limit, and I would like to at least go the speed limit. But we're gonna go ahead and select here on the cluster appearance. We're gonna put it in the track mode because this one is my favorite one. I don't use it too often though. I don't know, I'm weird like that. I like to kind of save it for when I'm gonna drive it hard, but I won't be driving it hard today and not doing too much. But this digital display, if you know, you know, it's absolutely amazing, and you can do so many things with it. The next thing I love, obviously the exhaust. Coyotes sound good. This thing has stock exhaust manifolds, a resonator delete, and stock catback, which is the GT500 catback, and it sounds so good. It's really controllable with all 4 modes. The other thing that I like that I'm still getting used to is the delivery of the torque and power of this Coyote. It's all on the top end, which I'm not used to. Coming from a supercharged push rod, it made all the torque down low, and this Coyote is the exact opposite, which is another reason why the 10-speed combos so well with it. Definitely, I think if you want a straight line car, the Coyote 10R platform is a great one to go with, and it's so smooth. And then the other thing I love about this car is pretty simple. How it looks on the outside. The Mach 1 has a distinct bumper, if you didn't know, and it also has the GT500 exhaust diffuser. Well, I mean, if you see one of these cars, at first you see the taillights, the headlights. If it's dark outside, you're like, oh, okay, another Mustang. As it gets closer, you can start to tell them apart, and it separates itself a little bit from the Shelbys, but also a little bit from the GTs. And I gotta say, the color combo with the fighter jet gray, with the darker satin and the orange, I love it. It's so smooth, man. It's so smooth. But look at those shifts, man. So all that's good and great. I mean, I knew a lot about this gauge cluster. I knew about the interior. I knew about the Coyote and the 10R80 and the 10 speeds and that power combo before I bought the car. And that was the main reason why I bought the car. Let's get into some of the surprises and things that I didn't expect when I bought this car that I'm actually super happy with. And let's start off with the handling. Okay, so if you have the car in normal mode, it's stiffer than most cars. It does come equipped with the MagnaRide from the PP2 Mustangs GTs, so it's a very capable track car and it handles really well. And in normal mode, there's definitely a bit of body roll in it compared to like a 6th gen Camaro 1LE or a ZL1. There's a lot of body roll in this thing compared to that, but once you put it in a sport or track mode, it tightens up, and man, is it good. It tightens up the steering, it tightens up the damping, it tightens up everything, and it just feels like the car is so well planted. And I don't even have the handling pack, so this is a non-handling pack car. The handling pack car comes with the same suspension as the Shelby GT350R, which is even better than this one for a track. I could only imagine how good that is. I've driven a couple here and there, but haven't been able to really push them as much as I do my own car, obviously. But it handles so much better than I thought. But if you are comparing it to a Camaro SS1LE or a ZL1, I'm going to give those cars the edge as far as handling goes, simply because the body roll, there is a noticeable difference in the Mustang to the Camaro. That Alpha chassis on the newer Camaros is insane. And this is a great platform for sure. It's definitely like, I'm the limiting factor. If I were to road course this car, the handling and the suspension of it would not be the limiting factor, so as much as I, as the driver, would not have the guts or the skill to push the car to its limits. And it's very, very capable on a track. The next thing that kind of surprised me a lot about this car is kind of the customization of it from actual Ford dealers. So Ford Performance has a plethora of parts for this car, tons. You can order the full handling package from Ford if you want to. And that includes the rear wing, the splitter, the suspension parts, the wheels, it all. You can even order a supercharger from Ford and keep the car under warranty. That is one thing that I didn't know going into this, that Ford actually backed up a lot of aftermarket parts on these cars so that you can do what you want with them. I absolutely love that, and it might be my favorite thing about the car so far. If you ever go to Ford Performance's website and just browse the things they have for Mustangs and even F-150s, because there is quite a bit of stuff. And then the next thing I want to get into is people's reactions to this car. I did buy this car with the intentions of building it and using it on YouTube, as I have cars in the past. And man, oh man, is this car polarizing. I never would have expected this car to get a reaction out of keyboard warriors like it does. It's not what I expected. People just think it's a regular Mustang, which comes with a lot of hate, which I'm okay with taking the hate online. I am. Does it bother me sometimes? Of course it does. It does everybody. But at the end of the day, I love the car, and that's what it's about. But when I take this thing to car shows and whatnot, man, kids absolutely love it, and that is one thing that I really love about the car. Kids love it. They know what it is, and other Mustang owners are so cool about it. Like, they know, they're like, dude, it's a Mach 1. They know the difference between a GT, and that kind of strokes the ego, makes you feel good, as it does any car enthusiast. Now, I told you guys I was gonna ask my dad for some pointers because he hates Ford. He's always hated Mustangs. He made me hate Mustangs for the first part of my life, and I asked him what he thought about the car. The first thing he said was, the sound system from the factory is pretty good. For a stock car, so this car comes with a 10-inch subwoofer in the back, upgraded door speakers, and it sounds good, man. I like it. There's a little bit of thump, and I do not know of very many cars that have that good of a sound system from the factory, if I'm being 100% honest. It's pretty good. And I, for one, am a little bit of an audio geek. I like music a lot, as I'm sure most of you do. I like it to sound good, and this car does a great job at doing it. I pretty much don't have to touch it, but then again, you're not really buying this car for the audio. That's just a plus. And the next thing he said was, I got nothing. I mean, he literally can't pick this car apart. Coming from the Blackwing, I would have expected him to say something about the handling or, you know, the lack of low-end power or something, but it kind of makes up for it in other ways with the smoothness of the power delivery, and the handling is really, really good. But let me know in the comments down below, you guys, what are your thoughts on the Mustang Mach 1? Is it overrated? Is it more of just an up-badged, you know, GT performance pack, or is it a car that's worth spending your money on? Some of the add-ons. Do a little bit of research. Let me know what you guys find, what you guys think about the Mach. Do you like it on the channel? Do you not? We've got something massive coming to the channel, and I'm talking huge. If you guys didn't know, we sold my dad's CT-V Blackwing for a replacement car, and it's coming in here in a few weeks. Fingers crossed. It's scheduled to, so we'll see. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching, joining the video today, and I'll talk to you guys on my next video.